cost of the water, the flowers, the gardener, all the stuff that you scream at me every year that you're not going to do it because you don't want to put any money into fertilizer. But it's most appreciated. You know, we had great news earlier this month that GE is going to retain its small motors plant on Broadway. That was fantastic news. But I'll tell you, when GE had contemplated moving its operation, and even today as they have space available in several of their buildings on the campus, the foresight and vision of Tom Smith comes into play. Several years ago, Tom suggested a plan for the GE campus if they would ever pull out or if they wanted to use one of the buildings for a project that would blend in with exactly what we're doing here. So Councilman Tom Smith, who is Vice President of the Fort Wayne City Council, wants to share with you just a moment or two of a concept that he would like to present to GE. And the reason why we're talking about something in the future is because the Broadway Corridor is going to perpetually continue. We are not going to let the ball drop, and we're going to think about things that may happen in the future that will affect the value of your business and real estate. And a tragic thing would be the idle use of the GE plant under any circumstances. I want to thank Don Willis and all of the folks from Imagine Schools from taking over the Emmaus Lutheran Church. That could have been a tremendous white elephant, no offense to the church, but it's very limited use. Instead, they made the best possible use of that property and sunk millions of dollars into it. And again, another reason why we're here today, because somebody had that vision and made a school out of that and brought 500 innocent school children to this neighborhood every day. And I say innocent because that's the kind of kids we want here. We want good people and good kids, and that was a major thing. And I thank Diane Tully, who's the Director of Development for Imagine Schools, for everything you're doing. Thank you, Diane. You wave there. Thank you. Tom Smith.
Thank you, Steve. When I was in college in the 60s, I worked at GE, second trick janitor. And during those years that I worked there, I got to roam all those buildings. I fell in love with GE. I love GE on Broadway. During my 2 a.m. lunch break, I would go up on the roof, sit under the sign, eat my lunch, and look out onto downtown Fort Wayne. So I fell in love with GE. And I've often wondered, as many people have, what would happen? What could we do with those buildings? There's a lot of talk about them could be renovated into apartments, condos, all sorts of things. It's always been a thought that's out there. But I would look at those buildings and think they're so vast, they're so huge. I could never come up with any kind of an idea until I thought about just focusing on one building. And you can come up here and look at this later. It's a little hard to see because it's sort of dark, but it's called Building 19. Every building in GE has a number. That's this most gorgeous building that's sited there on Broadway. It comes in at a knife angle into Broadway. It's a craftsman architecture building. It's one of the most beautiful industrial buildings in America, in my opinion, as is this particular site on West Broadway. So my thought was this. What if we could take that building, just that building 19, even just the front part, and revitalize, redevelop it? Now GE would have to do this working in cooperation with the city. But I'm a dreamer, and this is an idea that's based on a dream. And that is that could we approach GE, the city, Bob, the partnership, the Southwest Area Partnership, the neighborhood associations around here, and sit down with them and talk to them about remodeling, revitalizing just one of their buildings, and pick that beautiful building right there on Broadway, Building 19. GE's a high-tech company. They're one of the leading companies in green technology. Let's ask them if they would be willing to be a leader in Fort Wayne. We've been a partner with them for many years. Maybe a leader in America and the nation in showing what a company of their stature can do with one of their buildings by cooperatively working together and somehow get them to buy into this kind of an idea. I don't know how that works. There's no roadmap for that. But I want to get this idea into their hierarchy. Let's get this idea somehow, this picture or something like it, into their boardroom. Just maybe they will buy into the idea of working collaboratively with the city of Fort Wayne and all the people who are around there. So this is an idea, it's a dream, but I think it could move forward. I don't know the roadmap for that. I don't know how their structure works, but I think we could try it. I think this idea has merit because it's one building, it's not the whole project. Start with one building, and I think it should be building 19. Thank you, Steve.